Hey everyone, I am Pion and welcome to my preview of Paladins. What is Paladins, you ask? I like to call it a first-person shooter, objective-based hero arena. It's by Hi-Rez, the guys behind Smite, and it's in closed beta right now, and this is what it looks like. So I'm playing this little fox guy here, he's called Pip, and we're playing, what game are we playing actually? I'm not sure, it seems like we're playing Survival, I think. There are multiple game modes. God damn it, yeah, we're playing Survival. Okay, so in Survival mode, there are 4 different game modes, and we'll go over them later. So in Survival, basically, everyone has only 1 life, you don't respawn. You play multiple rounds though, and the team last surviving wins the round. Ouch! That was right in my face. And there is, like, Death Fog, which is focusing on the epicenter in the middle of the map. And, well, it deals a lot of damage if it hits you, so you want to avoid that. Yeah, nice, we got her. That's good. Let's take a careful look. There's a sniper back there. BAM! In her face. So our Pip is fairly long range, with like an artillery weapon, basically. Like, it's a grenade launcher, if you want to call it like that. Seems like we're winning. Where's the last one? Over there. So there you can see the fog. Try to use my skill there. Not sure if I did hit, but he's in the fog now, so let's use the heal and he should be done. There we go, round 1. It's kind of hard to commentate, so I'm doing my best, but I cannot guarantee the commentary being smooth or me playing good, so don't expect both. Or any of the two, actually. So, yeah, you see how this goes. This is the, as I said, the survival mode, the other modes, and the other modes you respawn. It's just this mode where you don't respawn. So let's sit here. You have multiple skills, as you can see down there. You have a horse. Everyone has a horse to go quicker. I did hit, nice. Okay, let's shoot some more more water bombs in that bush over there. They are bushed like in MOBAs, and you're actually hidden in them, as you could see here. So I'm trying to go for artillery fire on those, if I can, but I'm shooting too short. So that's no good. There we go, that was a nice hit. They're sitting in that bush, they don't learn. Got another one, nice. This is working way better than expected. Let's use the heal to heal my teammates. So I have a grenade, I used it there, it's my Q. And I have like, it's called weightless. You go in third person, you're quicker and you can jump higher. And I have on my right click, it's a healing potion I can throw down, basically. And then there's my ultimate, which turns all the enemies into chicken for a few seconds, which prevents them from attacking. Not from using skills though, I think. So there's that. Where are we going? Well, I just follow them. Well, it kind of makes sense, I guess, to go here. So the ultimate is a skill in the middle. It's on E. And as you can see, it's on 60% right now. So it fills up. I'm not 100% sure what fills it up. Ooh, that was not too great. I'm confused, apparently. I'm not sure what that means, but it's probably not good. In her face, but she teleport over there. Okay, she's in the ice block. Ah, too early. Got her anyway. Very good. Let's pick up those health thingies. When enemies die, they drop those. We're winning every round, so this is going really quick. This might not be perfect for demonstration. Not a very balanced match. Wait, why did he go in there? And I followed him. That was not clever at all. What are we even doing? Sir, do you know where we're going? I don't think he knows. Let's just go here. Okay, that was great. Wasted a bunch of time already. Anyway, so my ultimate is on 99%. I'm not sure what charges it up, or it charges up over time. So there's that. Enemies up here? No, it doesn't appear to be that way. And yeah, the other thing you saw popping up at the beginning of each round are those cards. That's basically the progression system. Like not like the progression system in game. It's like talents in Heroes of the Storm, for example. They're some pretty similar to those, actually, or like items in other MOBAs. But heal. I think I barely survived. Oh, okay, I got shot down. But we won the round anyway. So those cards, basically, you can choose one. In Survivor, you get one at the beginning of each round. In other modes, they just come over time as well, like basically like experience. I'm not 100% sure what charges them up, similar to the ultimate. Well, they come up over time, and you always have to choose one. We'll go over cards later, though, a little bit more in depth. And yeah, that's how the game goes. So let's finish that round, and then we'll tell you what the other game modes are and how cards work and stuff like that. The beta's pretty limited right now. There are only, I think, 3 maps, 4 game modes, and 9 heroes. Or Paladins, I guess. I want to use my ultimate, but I need a good situation for that. So, let's... That was not a good use of the ultimate, but I got this one guy, so... Good enough, I guess. Good enough. And there we go, victory. Well, that was a little easy. Most matches are actually fairly close, but this one was very, very one-sided. So, yeah. I forgot to turn on my light. I'm an idiot. Ha! That's better. that's definitely better. A little late. Anyway, I think we're going with this anyway. So that's the post-match screen. You get you level up your hero basically, and you level up yourself, like your account as well. You get different things for that. Like if you level up your hero, you can see that as level 3 on Pip. You get extra cards. I got one because I increased my mastery, so I just got level 3 with him. You get an extra card. As I said, I go over cards soonish, and I'm not sure. There should be my level somewhere as well. Maybe not. Well, I did level up. I'm not sure. It doesn't show here for some reason. Or I'm blind. I might be blind. No, I'm level 6. Was I level 5 before? Maybe. And we got the chest for leveling up though. And we got those chests for... one for first win of the day and one for victory, I believe. Or for playing a match, I guess. And you see my knockouts, deaths, and killing blows. Ah, now I know what KB is. Oh, that's good. Because if you look at the scoreboard, I was actually wondering what the KB is. It's killing blows. So knockout is kills and assists. I have 5 and I killed 3 of them, so I got 2 assists basically. And yeah, so you have a scoreboard here where you can see which cards everyone picked and the score. I'm not sure what actually generates score. I guess killing people, healing people, and objectives and stuff like that. It's like it doesn't seem to mean much though, like in most cases. Like if someone is stomping really hard, he obviously has a high score, but often I found myself often playing tactical and protecting my teammate, for example, which won us the round but didn't give me a lot of score. So as in most games, score is pretty much meaningless, and so is KD. Well, not completely obviously. Like if Cassie's going 10-0, she probably did something right? And if Sky is going 0-0, she probably had some problems. Same for those two. That was really one-sided. And not because of me. It was more my teammates doing most of the work here, I believe. But anyway, so that's how one match goes. They're pretty short, pretty quickly. Some, especially the survival game mode, especially if it goes that one-sided. Some of the game modes take a little longer. Let's talk about game modes really quick. Can I see the maps here somewhere? I don't think I can. No, not really. Oh, I can go and play, but that doesn't help. No, not really. So basically, there are, as I said, I believe 3 maps. It might be 4, I'm not 1% sure. And 3 game modes. So you have survival, then you have payload, which is literally the same mode like in Team Fortress 2. You have a lore that is, or some engine that is driving around, and you have to push it forward by standing next to it, and the defenders have to stop it. The weird thing about that game mode is that there is no rematch, so you only attack or defend, which is like it's actually a pretty bad game design problem, because it means if the map is not 100% balanced and favors the attackers or the defenders, then that's really bad because there's no rematch. Usually if you play payload with a rematch, you just look like if both teams won or like succeeded the attack, both attacking teams won basically, then you check which team was quicker, and if both attacking teams lost, you look which team survived longer, and you can make an overall winner based on those stats, which you cannot do here. So either like if the map is unbalanced, I cannot judge that yet, but hypothetically, if the map is unbalanced, then that's a problem for that game. So then there is capture only, which is basically capture the point. Like there are multiple map points on the map, as you saw in this match, but this time around you don't like have to those points will actually like randomly be selected, and you have to capture it and stand a while, like for some seconds on it, and try to capture it and get points for that. And the other game mode is siege and capture, or capture and siege. It's basically the same. You have to capture the point, but instead of getting a victory point for capturing the point, you will spawn a siege engine that will then travel towards the enemy base, and will try to destroy the gates there and destroy the vault in the end, which will bring you the victory, which is the goal of this game mode. I believe that's actually, like, it's the only unique game mode. Well, survival is kind of unique, I guess. Not 100% unique. Other games did similar things, but it's not like a default game or a standard game mode. And the siege and capture is kind of unique, but it's, I don't know, I find it the least interesting of the ones. There's a reason why payload is like such a I don't know, such a regular game mode in games, like such a common game mode, because it's a pretty good game mode. And that siege and capture mode, like the capturing is fine, like it's basically capture a point, which is an okay game mode, not the best thing in the world, but with randomly spawning points, that's actually kind of interesting because you have to go to different places in the map. But the downside is, like the actually siege part of the game is, in my opinion, fairly boring, because one team is actually running behind that siege engine and trying to shoot it, and the other team is like running behind that siege engine and trying to shoot the guys who are shooting the siege engine. So you have no player-to-player combat, or not that much at least. Sometimes, obviously, the defenders shoot on the attackers as well instead of the siege engine. But most of the time you shoot the engine, which is a little weird. I don't know. Maybe I have to play it a little more, but in my opinion, it's the weakest. So let's actually talk about cards, because cards are fairly important in this game. So I got some chests, as you could see earlier. So let's loot those chests by clicking on them. So this is the good chest, the radiant chest. It gives you 5 cards, with one at least being blue, I believe, which is the, I don't know, wait, what are the rarities? I'm not sure. We can check in a moment. Oh, I got 1 new card. No, 2 new cards, actually. That's good. For Pip as well, so that's cool. What is that? Reload. Healing Potion. Instantly reduces healing potions cooldown by 4 seconds for each target hit. Oh, that's nice. But wait, what does it mean with target hit? Friendly targets hit? With healing potion? I guess. That's pretty good. That's like really good. Wow. That makes you a really strong healer, I believe. And as well, what else you can see on this card is it has like a red number here, that's a damage bonus the card gives you, and a green number here, which is an HP bonus, and a cooldown timer here. Every time you die, the card will be on cooldown, and it will not have, like, the effect will not be active until this cooldown runs out. I'm not sure if those stat boosts will still be active. At least their card text is not active. Got a new card for this guy as well. You're immune to damage while your shield is deployed. That's pretty good. Oh, that explains a lot. Because I was wondering why this guy was not dying in the match before earlier today, and yeah, that explains a lot if he used that card. Because I was like, he has a shield, a big shield in front of him here. Wait, let me show him. Let me show you. It's that guy, Fernando. He has a big shield, and one of his skills is Fireball. Fernando, no, Immortal. Fernando prevents any nearby deaths. No, that's not it. Shield. It's shield. Expand your shield to block 7,500 damage. Basically, he makes a big shield in front of him and waves it around, and everyone can go behind him. But I was moving behind the shield and attacking from behind, was not dealing damage. But that card explains why. So those cards can have pretty strong effects. Most of them are actually pretty significant. So let's go back to the vault though. So I got a bunch of. Oh yeah, I know I got those cards. I got a bunch of duplicates, so I have those cards already. I will show you in a moment what you can do with those. You can press auto loot instead of clicking all the boxes. Those chests will only give you 1 card. Let's see, probably nothing new here. Nope. What? Oh, I pressed cancel. I'm a dummy. Should have just waited. And nothing new here either. So okay, we got a few cards. So what else can we do? Well, there's a card collection where we can take a look at all the cards of all the characters, or actually at all the cards if we want to. As you can see, I have 68% of all the cards. There will probably be more cards added during development, I would guess, because there are not too many cards yet. You will see how many in a moment. Well, actually it shows here, 151. And you can check the different heroes as well. So I got 12 out of 15 from Pip. That's pretty good. So you can see I'm only missing this one and this one and this one. So 1 legendary and 1 epic, rare. I'm not sure which one is which. Can we see that? If we go to the deck construction, no, it doesn't say here's either. It just shows the colors. Anyway, let's go over the deck construction. So basically, you have 3 slots for every rarity in the deck, and it's not really like it's the deck and the cards don't really work like a deck and cards in a collectible card game like Magic the Gathering or Hearthstone. They're not really cards. Like they shouldn't. They don't have to be cards. I made this point in videos about other games as well. I'm actually kind of like I'm kind of annoyed by games which do that. Like those things don't have to be cards. They don't act like cards. You don't draw a hand or anything. You don't have you have a deck, but the deck doesn't work like a deck. Don't draw cards from it. Basically, what happens is you have this deck. You have 3 slots per rarity, and during the match, you will always get one rarity, the cards from one rarity to select from. So in survival, at the beginning of each round, in the other modes, when you progress over time, like experience or something, or just over time maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think so. And you just get, like, in survival, you always start, or I think always actually in every game, you start with the legendaries for some reason. I'm not sure. I would have expected to start with the common cards, but you don't. You start with the legendary cards, and you get all of those presented that are in your deck, and you choose one, and there we go. So that has nothing to do with cards at this point. Like, there's no drawing, no hand, nothing. There's not even any randomness, actually. So that's a little weird. And as you can see here, I have not all slots filled. So if you click on this slot, we see all the cards that are still available here in this. Like, I don't have in my deck yet from this rarity, but as you can see, it's grayed out. I don't have it yet, so I cannot equip it. So that means there are actually only 3 legendary decks for cards for Pip right now, and that's the case for a lot of rarities and a lot of heroes actually. So there are not too many possibilities before the match. You have decent amount of possibilities during the match, like you can choose from up to between 2 and 3 cards every time you get a new card, but you cannot do like different builds before the match. It's still pretty significant because you can. But what I like about the game is, or about the hero design and the card design, is that you can go for at least two different playstyles with almost every hero, basically. So for example, with Pip, you can go for the artillery guy who shoots from far away, by going for the damage stuff, and like this one, for example, increase the explosion radius for your weapon shots by 40%, and reduce the cooldown of explosive flasks is pretty good as well. If they have a healer, you can go for infirmity, which will reduce the heals, which is pretty good as well. And Melody and legendary, like the legendaries are, like this one is pretty good for targets that are in full health. That's obviously very good for artillery fire as well, so the long range attack. And this one is better at short range, for example. Masterful consecutive attacks against the target increase your damage by 24% for 3 seconds, stacking up to 4 times. And the other playstyle is you go close and use your weightless, which is your escape skill, which I showed you earlier. Did I show you? I think I showed it. Like, I was going in third person and could jump higher, and you go for the skills for that. Like, for example, this one, more jump speed while weightless, or shooting while weightless, and stuff like that. And try to go more like flanking and actually play like an assassin. And you can do that with almost every hero. Well, the ones I played so far, at least. Like, for example, Buck, he has a shotgun. And you can either play like close range risky with a lot of stuff like you receive less damage. Or no, well, actually, that's more healing while you're below 50% health. You take less damage when you're below 30% health. Reduce the cooldown of your heal spell. And decrease your weapon's accuracy. Oh, no, wait, that's not the one. That's the one, actually. Gain 1% attack speed for each 1% missing of your health. And stuff like that, you can go for that. Or you go for the little bit more, like the other playstyle. Well, the other playstyle is... what is the other playstyle with Buck, actually? Like, you can play him differently. You can just protect someone, or you can go in the middle, basically. And if you protect someone, you will probably prefer like something like Buckshot, which just increases your damage overall. And... oh yeah, this one is pretty... No, yeah, you can go... actually, right, I remember. You can go for your leap. Like, he has a leap skill, and you have leg there, which increases the leap distance, and then there is, I believe it's this one. You may use heroic leap a second time, so you can double leap, stuff like that, and you can... Yeah, you can play him very differently as well, and that goes for most of the heroes. This one is another one, Rukus. Let's not go over every hero, that makes no sense. You get the idea, I believe. So, yeah, as I said, there's no point in those cards, like in those cards being cards. There's a point in the cards, but there's no point that there are cards because they don't have anything in common with cards. But it's just like a common game trope, I guess, these days, that games use cards because collectible cards are in or hyped right now thanks to Hearthstone and other stuff. And so that happens a lot in games these days. But it's not a problem, it's just a personal nitpick by me, I guess. But in general, the system, like the gameplay system of the card, is actually pretty cool because the cards are really significant. Like, it's not just some random stat boost. It actually changes your abilities, especially legendaries are pretty heavy. Like, what is this? Yeah, right. Deal up to 65% extra damage to close targets. Which is a lot, obviously. 65% more damage, that's pretty heavy. And Bloodlust is interesting as well. It gives you 1% more damage for each 1% currently missing from your maximum health. So that's up to 99% more attack damage, which is pretty crazy on this guy, actually, because he has a double minigun, which deals immense amounts of damage already. So there's that. So those cards all are pretty significant. As I said, one was like you could leap a double leap. That's obviously pretty significant. And so that's pretty cool. You have really meaningful choices, which lead to very different playstyles for most of the heroes. Or the ones I played so far, at least. So that's pretty cool. And the other thing about the heroes is, like, there's one good point, one bad point, and they kind of belong to each other. So the good thing is the heroes are all very different to each other. Like, everyone has his roles, and they're really different. Like, they're not very similar. I guess Eevee and Cassie are kinda the same role, at least, because they're both long-range sniper characters. But you can play Eevee pretty aggressive as well and go flanking and stuff like that. And I'm probably possible with Cassie to play something else besides sniping long range as well. Not sure though. Maybe not. So he's like a tower guy. He builds towers up. He's the big tank. He's like the disruptor guy who jumps on the enemies and throws down a big stone wall to catch them in, and has a net shot which roots enemies and stuff like that. He's the support with a pretty strong heal and chain attacks and like a AOE ultimate. And then you have Sky, which is like a stealth assassin character. And so all those characters are pretty different. The thing is, they're all fairly basic. There's nothing crazy in here. Like, none of the characters is really like a super interesting design or has some skills you would not expect. Like, all of those skills are fairly standard box standard. Nothing crazy here. But they work pretty well for each hero. So I like the heroes are good. What I believe is the heroes are a pretty good fundament for having like a base set of heroes that fulfill all the roles and are significantly different to each other, and now they should expand to more heroes to give us more variety and maybe more experimental heroes with more niche skills or more crazy stuff, which is obviously a little harder to design because you don't want to make it OP, you don't want to make it unviable, so that's a little bit more tricky. But I believe this is a pretty good core set and a good point to start, but I would prefer to have now added more. Let's try that sentence again. I would like to see more heroes added now that are more crazy. Let's put it that way, or more interesting. They're not boring, but I think you get the point. So yeah, there's that. That's pretty much all the stuff. Okay, I have actually never looked at the store. Let's do that right now. Why not? I think the game will be free to play. I mean, Smite is free to play, so but they have this pack for Smite where you can buy all the heroes at once, or gods, what they're called in the game. So maybe they do the same here for Paladins, because that got them a lot of goodwill from consumers. A lot of people really like that business model. So what can you get? You can buy chests. This is probably the premium currency. Can I buy? Is that active already? Maybe. Yeah, it is active already. Okay, so much for that. So you can buy the premium currency already, or you can buy them with gold. I think it's the only thing you can buy with gold. Maybe. Probably, actually. I got 1,600 gold. I didn't find anything else you can do with it, so there's that. You can change your name. Interesting. And that costs you a lot. Okay, for some reason. And you can redeem a code if you get a code. Where's the horse? Oh, that's a founder's pack. Okay, you get this if you get a founder's pack. You get a skin for your horse, 20 radiant chests, and an early access. Oh, that's early access to a closed beta. Okay, so you can buy the founder's pack instead of getting a beta key somewhere else. But you can just sign up to the beta and hope that you get in as well. That's what I did. So, yeah, there's that. So it will be free to play. It's kind of hard to judge if it will be pay to win right now. Right now it's okay, I guess, because the cards are, like, you get a lot of cards to start with. Like, you have 2 cards of every rarity for every hero from the beginning. And, oh yeah, I didn't talk about card crafting. So if you get duplicates, as you could see earlier, you can go to card crafting. And There was this one screen. I can't find it anymore actually. Where you can see where those are coming from. I'll tell you just craft a common card. Why not? Maybe it shows it here. No, it doesn't. Okay, so we got it. But if you craft, you always get a new card. That's why that was why some of the options were grayed out, because I have all the cards for Pip already for those rarities, except for legendary. I cannot afford legendary, so that was grayed out because of that. I got a new card now. Gather armor, picking up a health drop instantly restores 50% of your maximum health, so the health drops get a little stronger. Doesn't seem to be. I guess it's good for the flanking playstyle. I can't find the screen anymore. There was one screen that showed you where those 89 CPs are coming from. I can't find it anymore though. I'm not sure where it was. Is it maybe here somewhere? No, it should be in crafting, but I don't know where it is. Basically, those CP, I forgot what it means. Craft points, I believe. Yeah, craft points, I think. And basically, you get them for all the duplicates. So there was a list. You have 10 common duplicates and 2 uncommon duplicates and 1 epic duplicate or something, and all the rarities give you different points. Like, it's very similar to the dust in Hearthstone, basically. Just it's more like automated. You just buy the cards and it will automatically collect their crafting points. Or basically every duplicate just will create automatically crafting points for you, which you then can use to craft those cards. And that's a very it's an interesting way of doing it, because the main way of getting cards, or the way you can directly influenced, like by playing the game or by buying chests, is with chests. So you get random cards, but all the ones that are not new will instantly go into your crafting points, and you can use those to craft new cards guaranteed. So you will make progress no matter what, and it just will take a little longer if you're unlucky, I guess. So I think it's not a bad system. Right now I don't think it's pay to win. That might change, like it's kind of hard to say right now. Obviously, we're in a pretty early state. The beta's pretty closed right now, very limited right now, as I said, with only 9 heroes and a few maps and game modes. I really like that the game has different maps, and the maps are actually pretty cool. I didn't talk about that yet. I really like the map design, because the maps are all pretty versatile. Like, there are multiple routes for every point and every important spot on the map. Like, you can get there through multiple ways, and they're pretty vertical as well, which is cool. So there are a lot of upstairs, downstairs fights and stuff like that, and you can have more options to flank. And actually, some heroes can jump or fly, and that's really cool for them as well, because they can use that verticality better than other heroes can. So that makes it more interesting as well. So I really like the map design, and I hope they add a few more maps. And maybe redesign some of the game modes a little bit. Like, Payload should have a rematch and stuff like that. Right now, it's like when you when you search a match or when you find a match, you vote on the map and the game mode. And I hope that's a temporary thing. Like, it makes sense to only have one queue right now, because the player base is probably not too big, and it's always a bad idea to split up your community when you have a small player base. But in the long run, I would prefer to not have this vote, especially because in the long run that probably means that there will only be one game mode or maybe 2 played regularly, and it's pretty hard to get in the other one. So because people will, like, there will be a majority that plays one game mode, and so that game mode will be voted in very often, and people who don't like that game mode will drop out of the game because they always have to play that game mode and don't like it, which makes the majority even bigger. So in the end, like in the long run, after the game runs for a few weeks or months, there will only be that one group that plays that one game mode basically left, and that would be a little unfortunate. So I hope they will split that up in multiple queues, or something along those lines, to improve that later. Let's take a look at the option menu, but keep in mind this is a beta, but I think it's pretty good actually for the most part. Resolution, borderless window, full screen window, that's pretty good. Anti-aliasing, you can turn off VSync. Then you have some graphic presets for world detail, shadows, textures, and particle, shadow quality, gamma. Oh, few, I actually didn't saw that. I could increase that. Let's do that. 100. Okay, what's the minimum? It's important for some people as well. Okay, 70 to 100. 70 is pretty high for a minimum value. Usually you can go down to 60. So that's interesting. 100 is fine for a top value though, I believe. What else? Audio setting, you have separate sound sliders. That's pretty good. A lot of them actually, so that's really cool. And there's one sound bug with it though right now. There's like, when you're in queue and the game finds a match, it plays a sound for you. Even the game is in background, which is good, but the sound is on full full volume all the time, which can be very loud if you used to have like your headset on a very high volume and decreasing sound of your games, which I usually do. As you can see here, master volume on 8%. I hope they fix that at some point. You can do some things with the controls, turn off mouse moving, turn on the gamepad, change your mouse sensitivity, and you can turn off or on the game tips. I should turn them off actually. I don't need them anymore. Invert your y-axis. That's makes more sense for gamepads obviously. And you can rebind all the keys, which is cool. I should actually take a look at this at some point and change them around a little bit maybe. But most of them, like default keypad binds, are pretty good actually, so it's probably fine. Yeah, actually they're all good. Never mind. Oh, what is this? Card menu. I never tried that. Oh yeah, and I did not talk about the beacon. The beacon is basically a teleporter. So you can, like, there's the entry to the teleporter or to the beacon is in your spawn base, or in your base next to your spawn, and the other part you can pick it up by pressing B, or whatever you bound the key to, and you can drop it somewhere on the map wherever you want, and people can go into the entry of the beacon and will pop out of the exit you dropped wherever you want. However, you have to be careful because the beacon can be destroyed and then it will respawn at your base and you have to pick it up again and place it again. So that's a pretty interesting mechanic as well. It's pretty good because the maps tend to be fairly big. Like, it's not important in survival. I think there isn't even one in survival. I'm not sure. But for the other game modes, no, actually I think there is one, but it's not getting much use most of the time. But for the other game modes, it's fairly important to have a good beacon placement. So it's an important part of the game, and I think it's executed well. So let's come to a conclusion here. I think it's a pretty good basis. At the first few rounds, I was like, okay, the game is pretty boring, very bland. But the more I played it, the more it grew to me. Like, the hero designs are pretty good. As I said, they're very basic, and I hope they experiment more in the future. But it's a pretty good core set. They're very, very diverse, and every hero can be played in at least 2 different ways, which is really cool. The maps are really, really well designed, in my opinion. That's really good. The game modes are a little meh. I'm not too keen on the card system either. Like, it's okay. Like, as I said, it's good that the cards are all significant, so you have multiple, like, good choices. But I don't know, I maybe would just prefer a regular skill system or like an item system or something like that. The shooting mechanics are probably the weakest part of the game. Like, they're fairly boring. But like, it's interesting that every character has different, or most of the characters have very different shooting mechanics. Like Pip, as you saw, had this like grenade launcher. Then Cassie, for example, has the bow, obviously, which is a pretty quick projectile. Then Evie has a little slower projectile. However, she has a card that increases the projectile speed by 100%, so that makes it pretty quick again. Then you have the guy with the chain lightning gun, and you have the guy with the mini guns, and one is even melee. So they're all pretty different, and the shotgun, so that's pretty cool. But none of those guns are really like interesting, or like they don't have kick or anything, so they are all pretty straightforward to use. Probably one of the more complex ones to use is the grenade launcher, because you have to arc it and stuff like that, but even that is not really hard. So most of the guns are fairly easy to use. Like, I mean, if you're shooting long range, you have to lead the targets a little bit. But actually, in my experience, like, if you're really good, that might be a thing. But in my experience, at least for me, it was like I just shoot in the general direction and hope that the enemies run in, because the projectiles from Cassie and Evie are both like the 2 long range characters are both fairly slow, and so if you're sniping over a long range, you have the problem that all the heroes are really quick in this game. They all move very fast, so it's almost impossible to reliably snipe the enemies, and instead you just aim at certain important points or in a general direction and hope that you hit, basically. Actually similar to Pip if you play him artillery style, because you just will, like, it's even more that way with Pip actually, because you try to zone certain points, like shooting in the bush or on the capture point or something like that. So yeah, the shooting is not super interesting. The skills are kind of fun, but nothing crazy either. There's actually really, really few CC or crowd control. Like, there's actually like the net shot of Buck, and then his ultimate as well, which is not really CC, but it blocks your path because it's a big stone wall around him, like a circular stone wall, which you can get imprisoned there. And besides that, there's almost no CC. I believe there's a slow, and that's kind of it, which is kind of interesting. I mean, CCs in first-person shooters is always a thing, always a problematic thing, because it's kind of annoying to have your direct controls to be slowed or removed completely. But having none of them is a little weird. I would like to have. Well, actually, I forgot one. The chicken skill, the ultimate from of Pip is, well, not really a CC. Like, it's a CC, but it doesn't work like other CCs, I guess. But in general, there are not too many CCs. And what I would like to see are more skills like the ultimate of Bug, like the big stone wall, like stuff that changes the map layout somehow. So building walls, or maybe, I don't know, a ramp or something. I'm sure, would that be useful? Maybe. Or maybe a thing that floats in the air you can jump on, or something like that. Something crazy like that. That would be cool. And more movement skills would be cool as well. Every character has movement skills, so I guess when we get more characters, we will get more movement skills as well. Maybe something more crazy there as well, because most of the movement skills are fairly basic as well. So yeah, so I think, like, I kind of like the game. It's not the game I would play a lot right now, but maybe I would play it kind of a lot when it gets more interesting content. So I will definitely keep an eye on this, because it's definitely interesting. I probably will play a few more rounds with a friend of mine who kind of enjoys as well. So I will link the beta sign-up link in the YouTube description below, so feel free to check that out. Feel free to check that out if you're interested. Oh my god, my talking today. And, well, yeah, let's wrap it up here. I am TH Pion. Thanks a lot for watching. If you liked or disliked the video, feel free to press the like or dislike button below. This is Paladins. It's by Hi-Rez, the guys behind Smite. It's in closed beta right now. It will be free to play, I believe. And, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Have fun, and see you next time.